Okay, so this video is going to demonstrate two plyometric variations, specifically for the back three in rugby union, more commonly known as the two wingers and the fullback. Plyometric exercises involve quick, explosive movements designed to increase speed and power. So while strength and conditioning programs can create the neuromuscular adaptations necessary for power development, plyometrics utilise the strength and power gained from the compound and Olympic lifts and then translate them into a speed and more of a sport-specific movement. Prior to any plyometric session, a warm-up involving running on the spot, high knees, heel lifts, star jumps, burpees, skipping and lunges should be done to raise the individual's heart rate, activate and mobilise muscles and potentiate. These movements are low impact plyometrics within themselves and therefore great prior to the main activity. After the warm-up, the next part of the session will include more faster and more sport-specific activities. These will include ladder drills, which is going to have a focus of low centre of gravity, light steps, focusing on spatial awareness, and we can also include a rugby ball within these drills to make it more sport specific. Before I demonstrate the two variations of the plyometric exercises, it is vital that any strength and conditioning coach understands the following. The most important phase of the stretch shortening cycle is the amortization phase, which is the transition between eccentric to concentric movement. Therefore, it is vital to reinforce proper and efficient landings throughout the session. Although there is no literature stating the requirements of an athlete prior to starting plyometrics, there is a consensus amongst top strength and conditioning coaches that the individual should be able to squat 1.5 to 2 times their own body weight. Okay, so Andy is going to demonstrate alternate bounds. The heel wants to barely touch the floor, and therefore the main focus is to condition the Achilles tendon to the repulsion stimulus. We're also looking for a good contralateral motion with the arms and legs. The next clip is a poor example of alternating bounds. Due to the heel being the first point of contact, we are not utilising the stretch shortening reflex, which is reducing the fluidity of the movement. The next progression is a box jump. This requires the individual to jump onto an elevated surface using a partial squat depth, and the main goal is to have a light landing. The intensity can be increased with the height of the jump, but only when proper jumping mechanics are addressed. Once Andy has jumped onto the box, he will step down onto a lower surface to avoid excess stress onto the Achilles. Errors that are commonly seen when performing the box jump are during the landing phase. In the first clip, Andy lands with his knees bent and then jumps straight back down. The coach needs to promote full hip extension at the top of the box for good jumping mechanics. Andy also absorbs the landing force with a valgus knee, which increases the chance of injury. To correct this, the coach would need to make sure that the subject's feet and knee are facing forward in alignment. Right. The final progression is a depth jump. The height for a depth jump should be approximately 75 centimeters to optimize power development. This requires the athlete to step off the platform, land with 2 feet, and jump as high as possible. The primary goal of this exercise is to minimize the time spent on the ground. Work to rest ratio should be 1 to 5 to 1 to 10 to be certain that the intensity and proper execution of movement are preserved. It's suggested that 1 to 5 minutes of rest is needed between plyometric exercises, depending on the intensity and volume of the workout. Recovery time between sessions is recommended to 48 to 72 hours. In the early pre-season phase, plyometric sessions should be conducted once every fortnight. Moreover, players should never complete a lower body plyometric sessions within 36 hours following a lower body weight session. Because the plyometric sessions are comparatively brief, they can be structured prior to another session, possibly a rugby skills session, for example tackling, kicking or passing. It is paramount, however, that the plyometric sessions are scheduled prior to any other training routine.